All I can say is I wish I learned this sooner. And if you're someone who cares about something, if you're someone who cares about anything, I promise you, you'll be happy you watched this video. This is my breakfast, by the way. I have played football my entire life, and it's been a pretty big part of who I am. I even played in college. But I've also been a bot my entire life, or up until 2020. One day I woke up and I was conscious. I started to think things. I started to think about thinking things. Then I thought back to when I was a kid. You don't think about things when you're a kid, you just do them. I just went to school. I just woke up early. I just spent time with my family. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about the dynamics of everything in the world. But now I was doing that. And I especially didn't think about football. I just played it because it's a sport and you play it. It's that simple. But when you grow up, for some reason, you just think about things. And that's what started to happen to me. My freshman year of college, no season due to COVID. Sophomore year, got injured. Junior year, my time to shine. Healthy, trained hard the whole off season, and got to camp feeling great. I was the starter. Everything was going terrific. And then I started to just put a lot of pressure on myself for no reason. I started to be a perfectionist. I wanted to be so good at football. It was my main thing. It was my everything. And I started to just play worse because of that. And that made no sense to me. And because I cared so much, but I was playing so poorly, I concluded that I don't love football. I hate football. That's what I told myself. And with time, that mentality infected the rest of my brain, and I decided to quit. And I am not a quitter. I don't quit many things in my life, if anything, but I decided to quit football. Something that was a part of me my whole life, and all of a sudden I've decided I hate it. So I went to my coach, and I told him, hey, like, this is where I'm at. I don't know why. It was emotional for me. He knew that. I don't think he wanted me to quit. He said, you're a starter right now. Like, preferably you don't quit. I'll give you a few days to think about it, but like really think about it. I was like, I appreciate that. Thank you for respecting this decision, whatever. Leave the office. I'm walking back home. Before I even get home, I get a call from my other coach, and he goes, what's wrong with you? Why are you quitting? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, why are you quitting? And I'm like, I just don't love it anymore. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I've been watching you play for the past 2 years. You love football. I'm like, I don't, because I'm getting pissed off at every practice. I'm playing crap. I suck. And I don't suck, but I'm sucking for some reason. And he said to me something that I'll never forget. Made no sense at the time, but now it's something that I'm so glad he said. He said, you're ruining it for yourself. And I asked him, what does that mean? And he said, you're ruining it for yourself. You're putting all this pressure on yourself. You're thinking about it way too much. Just play. He said, I don't want you to stay at home because you're going to ultimately quit. You've already made up your mind. He said, I want you to come back for one more practice and just play like nothing matters. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do anything. Just enjoy it for what it is. And so I agreed to that, came back, and I know this sounds like some Disney Channel ass bullshit, but that was the best practice I've ever had in my entire life. But I realized from this that I didn't hate football at any point. I loved football the whole time, but I let my mind ruin it for me. And so a few weeks ago, I've been studying psychology a lot lately, as you know from my videos. I stumbled upon optimal arousal theory. So this graphic here is the premise of this video, and it's pretty simple. It speaks to how much you care about something and how well you perform in it. So if you're bored, you're not going to do well in anything. You don't care about it. You don't value it, so you're not going to perform well in it. But this is where the story that I just told comes into play. I think in this society, we like to think the more I care about something, the better I'll do at it. And it's just not the case, especially for us high-driven individuals. As you see from that story, I cared too much. And I know it sounds crazy, but you can care too much. And so right in that sweet spot in the middle is optimal arousal. And I love this because every time that I have a challenge in my life, I just tell myself, relax, just relax, because you know you care. That's not in question. So you don't have to go murder yourself to execute something. Something that you want for yourself doesn't have to be an obligation. The moment that you get yourself to that point, you're tweaking. You've done too much. You need to take a step back. I'm not telling you to not work hard or care about things. I'm telling you to not let those things consume you to the point where you can't even enjoy them. Now, I know I gave an example about sports, but this literally applies to everything in your life. Think about anything you care about. When you ruminate and let it manifest into this big, huge issue in your head, any challenge, any mountain, you're building the height of the mountain in your head yourself. When in reality, if you just took a step back, you'd be like, mountain's not that tall. I don't know if I explained this well, but it's one of my mantras of life. It's in my Instagram bio. Enjoy the ride. There's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys, but up here is the choice. And if you just chill, you'll always be sitting right where you need to be. This has been another Enzo Elaborates Hood Classic. I don't know if I explained this the best way that I could, but I think if you wrestle with this concept, you'll start to see what I'm talking about here, and you can relate it to concepts in your own life. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment an idea for the next one. Until then, we out.